Hey, what is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So, a few of you had requested me to create a public blank template of my Google Sheet tracker. So, I have done just that. I wanted to develop this video for those that are interested in the tracker to be able to break down pretty much the whole spreadsheet. In the event you have any questions, you can always comment down below. I also added some notes inside of the sheet, so let's go over that information right now. Before we actually get into the details of the spreadsheet, I want to show you guys how to download it in the event you don't want to watch the rest of this video. So it is going to be the link in the description below. Once you click on it, you will be redirected to this page here where it will say view only. And all you have to do is click file. And there's two options. You can either do make a copy, and that will save a copy into your Google Drive, or you can hit download where you can save it into a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet or any of these other options. So yeah, I hope this helps. So before we get into the details of the Google Sheet, I just wanted to point out that if you see a box with a little black triangle in the corner, that just means it has a note attached to it. So if you are wondering what does target mean, just hover over it and then it'll provide a little snippet of what that column is supposed to be. So going from left to right, we start with the date, of course. So I do include Sundays only because it is technically an open trading day. Now, I don't personally trade Sundays and I don't trade at night, but I just thought it would be helpful to have it because it does connect both B and C. So for column B is the trading journal. So I do journal every single day. Now Sundays, it's supposed to be my day off, but I do also, perform trading related activities like, watching YouTube videos about psychology, strategies, reviewing my trades, updating my charts, which is column C. So I do definitely do stuff relative to trading on Sunday, but I don't make it a requirement to journal in my trading journal if I do anything. So yeah, and then column C, that's going to be preparing your charts for the next trading day. So of course, Sunday through Thursday, you are going to be preparing your charts. So you want to make sure you check off that you did complete it that day. And then Friday, as you know, Saturday markets are closed, so you don't do the preparation of charts for the next day on here. So that's going to be your day off for this, so you don't have to worry about that. And then column D through J, this is going to be your monthly performance for your entire portfolio. So, for example, let's say you had, my examples here is your personal account, Elite Trader Funding, and then you have Lilu as your other two prop firms, right? So for your personal account, you made 5 grand on the month. Elite Trader 2 grand, Lilu 5 grand, right? So this is going to automatically be totaled up over here. So for that whole month, you made a total of $12,000. So it's a very lucrative month for you, right? But for your lifestyle, you have a certain amount that you need, right? You need your basic necessities met, you have rent, you got, gas, you're on a trip, whatever it may be. This target may differ month to month, but for the most part, you want to have your basic necessities. So let's just say you need about 5 grand to pay off everything and make sure you are fully settled, even like your savings account, right? So then, cool, you technically made $12,000 more. Oh, no, you didn't. This is, 1 second, please. I'm doing this all. Okay, perfect. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, awesome. Do that all on video. But yeah, so technically you made $7,000 more for that month. So you have a lot of extra money. Now let's go ahead and drag down the target all the way to December. Let's just say this is what you need every single month, not including any chips and stuff. So for the year, the total you need a total of $55,000 to survive, right? Now, if you were to just mess around here and just say every month you made the same amount of money with trading, which isn't always true, right? Go ahead and drag it all down. It'll give you the totals for each of the columns. So for your personal account, you brought in $55,000. Elite Trader, 22 grand. Lilu, 55 grand. Again, you need 55 grand to survive. But technically, you brought in over $132,000 on the year. So you have a lot of extra wiggle room, some fun money, whatever you want to use that for. And yeah, it just breaks it down nice and clean for you. And then of course, notes section, pretty straightforward. You got any notes you want to add in there? Let's say for one of the months you have a trip, you need a certain amount of money, or let's say you got into, knock on wood, in a car accident, you need extra money there, or that's the reason why you didn't make as much money, or your performance was slacking because that happened, or someone passed away, whatever. Even for me, I wrote when my actual funded account started, when I passed, so how many eval accounts I passed, and then how many funded accounts that I received. So I think that's also important to play into analyzing your entire monthly performance. And then K and L is going to be actually a daily thing. So I wanted to keep these two together, but I like the change in color to kind of, I don't know, pop it out a little bit more. But pretty much, yeah, every day you're gonna update this manually. So did you trade, your Apex accounts? Did you trade your legal accounts and your personal? Oh, you didn't trade your personal account? No worries, then just uncheck it. It's just to show that, okay, I did trade it that day, just to, I don't know, make it nice and clean. And then for total, it's gonna be the number of funded accounts you have, also your personal accounts, and then how many eval accounts you have going on. So for me, I do like to use the notes thing, how it like pops up this little note here. I like to use that for my account names, and then I'll write right here as an example. I'll write the date of my bill. So let's say on March 10th, I'm gonna get a rebuild for 3 of the 100K plans. So I just think it's nice and clean. For a personal account, obviously you might not have a note for it, but to each their own, right? And then for column N through P, this is going to be more of like a weekly basis and not as specific. So, for example, for this week, February 27th through March 3rd, that's Monday through Friday. I don't include Sundays because, again, I don't trade it. But Monday through Friday for me, let's say I have a total of, I don't know, 10 PAs. And for the weekly total, this is going to be the sum of all of your sheets, which we'll go over in just a minute, all of the sheets' weekly numbers. So then let's say for the week you made $10,000. So each account roughly, it seems like overall you made about $1,000 each. But we'll see once we get into the sheets, right? So there's that. And then for the report card, I actually started implementing this more recently. There's a guy out there on the internet, I can't remember his name, but he had a layout very similar to this, and I thought it was very interesting to see. So I wanted to incorporate something like that because I've been struggling myself with areas of improvement, specifically in psychology. So I thought this was a good way to track pretty much everything from psychology, psychological performance, trading performance, and then pretty much what I'm doing outside of trading. So yeah, it's pretty cool, straightforward. If you do end up completing one of these things, or doing one of these things, or feeling one of these things, then you'll go ahead and mark it. So let's say Monday I was feeling patient, calm, sleepy. I was definitely stressed, greedy, that kind of thing. So when you do pull up this spreadsheet, you'll be able to not only go through each of these a little bit more carefully and read it to your own speed, but also adjust it how you want. And then I have on the bottom right the summary of the week. So you don't have to write in here if you have a trading journal. I would recommend actually to write in your trading journal just because every week you do update this. So I have in my little note, and I'll read it here for you. Write a reflection on your entire performance for the week, and that's including trading and psychological, and then outside of trading. You can do this in your personal trading journal or in this sheet, but since you will be resetting this sheet every week, I would recommend to copy this over to your trading journal or another document. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. And then for strategy, now this is also, optional, it's up to you, but I find it kind of beneficial because when I am reviewing my trades, obviously a lot of traders know that with market conditions, sometimes your strategy changes as far as which strategy you want to use, right? You might have like plan A, plan B, plan C, and then you might have like certain kinds of things that have to be met in order to take a trade, whatever it may be. That's kind of what I have going on here. So to break down the very first example, or like the first thing here, it's going to be my strategy. So that's going to be if you're like a scalper, swing trader, day trader, options trader, whatever, you'll go ahead and write that here. Your charts is pretty much what time frames are you going to be using: the 5-minute, the 4-hour, the daily, the weekly, the monthly, 20-second chart. Position sizing is your minimum and maximum of contracts that you are allowed to use per trade. But I also get more specific. I'll say, my max and minimum is this, but I typically use this amount for this reason. So I just think it's nice to be as detailed as possible in this, just because when you are reading it, because this is yours obviously, when you are reading it and then you're going over your trades, you're thinking, okay, how does this fit with my strategy? Why did this trade go wrong? Why did it go right? What is different in this trade than what I'm expecting it to be because of my strategy? So being as detailed as possible is, I think, really beneficial in this situation. For column D, it's going to be your take profit and your stop loss. So what is your risk to reward ratio? And then I wrote a note, for example, in NinjaTrader, do you have an ATM strategy? What is your minimum or maximum amount of points you would put for your instruments? So to break it down for you guys, what I mean by that is in my NinjaTrader, and also what I wrote on my sheet is I have an ATM strategy called the ES1 contract. It's one contract. I have a risk rate of 1 to 2, so I have a stop loss at 1 point and then have a reward at 2 points. And again, that's for my ES. So just being as detailed as possible. For indicators, what indicators do you use? RSI, you have volume profile, EMAs, whatever. Your confluences, so what encouraged you, what influenced you, and what confirms you to take the trade. So to take a trade. Yeah, don't mind my grammar and some of this. To take a trade. So is it, are you following a pattern? Is there a two-leg move? Are you counter trending? Are you range trending? So what is encouraging you to take that trade? What do you look for? And then for the column G and H, I think it's really beneficial as well. I think everything's beneficial. I think it's important to note these and actually be really honest, transparent, and detailed as possible, because these are like two areas that you obviously want to focus on. You have your strengths and you have your weaknesses, right? So for areas of improvement, are you good? Are you good or bad at execution, following your plan, respecting your stop loss, etc.? Same thing for areas of excellence. I think it's important to have these two because whether it be daily, weekly, monthly, you review these two areas, you can definitely, recognize, acknowledge, and work on these areas. So if you already are strong at, let's say executing, if you're really good at it, make sure that the next month out, you are still good at executing. But then for your areas of improvement, that it can move over to there, right? Because what if your execution started to slack a little bit? Or what if your areas of improvement got better, so now it's an area of excellence? So I think it's important to keep note of these and start tracking your progress as far as like an overall trader. It'll really help stand out if you're very brutally honest with yourself, because then you could definitely see more changes in your performance. And then now here is the part where it's all about the numbers, right? So you guys might have seen in my previous video about my account update with Bullnox what that looked like. So yeah, so let's go over it. So right here, I have an example already. All these are examples, by the way, if you see any numbers or information and stuff like that. So I have it here on the left, column A, which is what your account is going to be. So whether it be a personal, again, or your prop firms or your Forex, yeah, all that stuff, it's going to be over here. So you can adjust this as well by just clicking on column A, right-clicking it, and then hitting data validation. Then you'll click where it says has column A on it, and it also highlights the column that you're in when you click it. And then from here you can adjust it to whatever name you need it to be. So whether you need Apex, Lilu, you need to add in, I don't know, personal account, we can do that too. Let me just add that in right now so you guys can see that. And then we'll change the color, I don't know, to purple. Click done. If you come back to your column, the drop down, you'll see all of them here. So yeah, you can also click the pencil. It'll ask you if you want to adjust the entire row or just the entire column or just a specific box. So obviously it's whatever you need. For me, I personally recommend to have individual sheets for each prop firm or personal account. The reason for that is because it keeps it so much cleaner. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I am not able to trade all of my prop firms at the same time, as well as my personal accounts. It actually has to be in different trading sessions because of the copier. So that's why, for Lilu, I do all of my Lilu accounts as one trading session, and then, I sign off of Lilu, and then I log into Bullnox, and then same thing for Bullnox, and then log into Apex. So that's why I think having individual sheets is important, but also because obviously, like your profits, you want it to be as clean as possible. You want to be able to track your performance. There's a car driving. You want to be able to track your performance for each of the accounts. So that's why having them all separate sheets is just a lot cleaner in my perspective. So for my example for today, I had 227 as a date. And then the primary market that I traded was NASDAQ. So of course, if you do trade more than one instrument, I would just recommend putting the instrument that you traded the most, not for any specific reason, but probably because it's just easier to know that you did trade it the most. And then Phil's close, so it's going to be on your Rhythmic Trader dashboard. If you have Rhythmic, it's going to be one of the columns that just says like Phil's buy, sell, quantity, close, or open or something. And then you'll just pretty much copy and paste that number to here. And then pre-fees, of course, this is before commission. So let's say I made $500 today, but I had fees of $23. So after fees, I brought in $477 on the account. And this is my first day on the funded account or my eval or whatever. So I brought in a total of 477, right? Cool. Then the second day coming in, let's just say I made the same amount, did the same amount of everything except for contracts. I don't know. Let's put ES this time. Cool. And this row 3 right here, it's going to have a different number. But that is because this column is always going to add the previous day plus the current day. So if you see the formula, it's previous day, which is day 1, $477, plus today's profits of $477, which equals the $954. So this is going to be automatic. Again, all you have to do is drag the little blue square, pull it down, and it will copy and paste pretty much that formula. You just have to make sure you have stuff written right here. If you don't have anything written here, then it won't work. So yeah, there's that. And then of course notes, same thing like your home page. If you have like any evaluations that you had just started or any funded accounts you just started, I would include that here just so you give yourself perspective as to when you started those accounts and then how it plays into your entire performance, right? Or let's say you blew the account, how does that affect the rest of your performance too? And then looking at column M through O, this is that weekly portion on the home page that I was mentioning earlier. So right here, that is going to be like right here. So your weekdates, like I said, Monday through Friday for me, but if you do trade Sunday, I would include Sunday. So then that would technically be 226 to 33 if you include Sunday. And then right here, this is going to be all of your PA accounts combined together. So as I mentioned, having individual sheets is important because let's say you had 20 Lulu accounts, 20 Apex accounts, 10 Bullnox accounts. You want to make sure you have all of those profits that are in this column insert here, right? So at the end of the week on March 3rd, I want to make sure, okay, let's just say this is the end of the week. I made 954 and I only have one PA account. Cool, 954 is going to go right there. You could also put a formula as well to have all the numbers added up and put it here for you. I can't put that in right now just because obviously it depends on the amount of accounts you have and all that good stuff. So you don't have to do that yourself manually. But let's say for the end of the week, for my one PA I have, I made 954. And my target for each PA, which is again, I have one right now, is to make at least, I don't know, $600, right? Cool, great. I did pass it, my one PA made 954. My PA target for one account is only 600. I am up 354 in the week, so that is awesome. And then again, if you scroll over or you hover over it, it'll tell you the little notes. So there's all PA accounts, their total profit and loss combined together. And then column O, it's going to be, to break it down, each funded account has a separate target goal. So even if you have 10 Lilu accounts, you want each PA to have $600. That is $6,000 total, but this is each PA, so it's only $600. So in this example, I will trade a minimum of 4 days. Even though there's 5, I'm saying I'm giving myself an extra day off, so a minimum of 4 days. I want to make at least 150 per day. So 150 per day times 4 trading days is $600. So that is my weekly target for one PA. Now here I am. If I had 4 PAs, then I would do the 600 weekly target, right? Times the 4 PAs, and that will give me a total weekly target of $2,400. So I hope that makes sense. Again, if you don't understand, or it's like I'm going too fast, or I'm not breaking it down good enough, please let me know in the comments below, or send me a message, and we can definitely go over it some more. Or I could definitely adjust the spreadsheet as needed, or you can adjust it to however you need it to be. If you click this little, I don't even know what this is, like a little ladder thing, it says all sheets. And I've included some blank forms for you guys so that if you need to just copy and paste it over, you can. So if you click blank homepage template, here's a blank one. And then obviously blank prop firm name template. Here's another one. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And I would highly suggest, of course, updating these names. So if this is Lilu, then you'll go ahead and write Lilu here. You can click the little arrow, or you can right click it, and then you'll click that, rename, and then type in Lilu. So yeah, there's that, and then obviously just take off blank and template, and it'll just be homepage. So yeah, I hope this was beneficial. I hope I was able to break this down a lot. It's been 18 minutes of me talking. So this is the entire spreadsheet that I've been using to be able to track my entire performance on top of my trading journal. Now my trading journal is a little bit more specific as far as my trades go. My journal includes the kinds of trades that I'm taking, the profit, the take profit, the stop loss, all that stuff, what I looked for in that trade, and the reason why it went wrong or went good. So it is separate from this, and that one I'm keeping a little more personal because I feel like it's a little crazy. But this is to track more so the numbers of your accounts. So I hope that again this was beneficial. And if you guys again have any questions or want to go over it more, or if you whatever, leave a comment down below or send me a message and we can do that. I try to take this all or do this all in one take, so I'm not going to be editing anything out. So I hope it made sense. But thank you so much for your time. 20 minutes deep now. And yeah, if you guys haven't already, go ahead and subscribe down below. Give this video a big thumbs up if you did find it informational. And if you do end up using the spreadsheet that I've created, that is going to be in the description below. Yeah, that's it. So I appreciate your time again. I wish you nothing but the best and success in your trading journey. And I'll see you all in the next video.